Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Empower Your Passion. It's an extremely exciting episode because we are shaking things up today. My name is Ziki, and I would like to introduce you to a very special guest today who usually co-hosts with me, but is now today in the hot seat, Rebekah.
Ooh, no pressure. Hi, Zeki. Thank you for that introduction. So thank you very much. And it feels quite strange. I must say, I have not been in the other, like I've not been how can I say, in the reverse for a long time. In other words, I'm always the one asking questions. So to have somebody ask me questions, I'm quite nervous.
I think you're going to do great because I know you have so much to share, and I'm honestly looking forward to what you're going to be imparting on us.
No pressure. Thanks, Eve.
So just to kind of get started, I would like to have you tell us a little bit about the niche that you've carved out in the women empowerment sector. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, of course. So, as you know, being the winner of Icon South Africa, and us, working alongside one another, that I have a very, very special place for women in business, in my heart, in my life, in my purpose, in my passion. I've been a woman of doing my own business and being my own entrepreneur for 20 years. As far as I can imagine, I was always that go-getter, that woman that wanted to make it for herself, be successful, not rely on anybody else. And so I started an events company when I was about 19 years old. I just finished matric, and I was lucky enough to, through this journey, find myself on a couple of movies. Into one of the movies I was with was Angelina Jolie in Cape Town. I was a presenter on MS Supersport for a couple of years. I was a co-host on an afternoon drive for one of the radio stations out there. And I found myself alongside very influential people that really stood out for me and were really there for me, supporting me and rooting me in the sense of allowing for me to try my creative side at life. And that was how I got into events, was rubbing shoulders with these people, going to events, seeing how it works. And so in my early, like I say, 1920s, I thought I can do this. And I started off just believing that I could, and I got into these events and realized I was quite good at this and managed to grow quite a successful team and work alongside many big brands that we know out there, and built this business and realized that I've got a very big passion for not only myself in business, but women who are in the same situation as me, who are also trying to build a business, who are also juggling, who are also trying their best every day of their lives. And so through these years of running this business, I thought, I wonder if there's, a platform out there that actually showcases and stands behind women in business. And so I realized there were a couple out there, but you had to have a certain amount in your bank account, or you had to be in business for a certain amount of years. And I realized it was just kind of, unfortunately, dividing women in South Africa instead of bringing us all together and collaborating together and making us stronger. And it doesn't matter where you're from, who you're from, how you're from. And I built this niche where I wanted women to come on board this platform and allow for them to showcase who they are, to be able to network with like-minded women, and to really stand behind these women in their businesses and show them that they can and they are able and they are beautiful, and they can succeed. So I suppose that was the niche and how it started.
Wow, that was a beautiful journey that you started off in. That's such a beautiful story as well.
Quarter of my journey, but we'll leave it at that.
I'm hoping that as we go through, you'll be able to share a little bit more and just give us a peek into what's been going on and how you've gotten so far in your life. And just also listening to the different experiences that you've mentioned, and how they're all very different, yet you've combined them to be able to start something so amazing. It makes me think of how many times I've questioned a lot of my experiences that have nothing to do with my current path, but how they somehow have helped me to get to where I need to. So it's just interesting just hearing that, because many times I've questioned myself, am I doing the right thing? Will what I'm doing right now help me one day? Is it going to get me to my final goal at the end of the day? So just hearing that, really, it inspires me, and I'm sure
amazing.
people out there are listening.
Thank you.
And just to kind of push it a little further, you talked about how you started your events company, and yet we also know that you started Icon SA. How did that happen?
So I touched on it now a little bit through what I've said, but I think for me personally, it was a personal venture. You know, I lost myself a little bit when I had my first child, in the sense of I became this mommy, and I became lost in a world of survival, and I found that I lost who Rebekah was pre-mommy. And so I began wondering, how am I going to find myself again after this, and treasure myself again? And as much as I love my kids, and you know how much I'm obsessed with my babies, I can't be more
on the social media, and just everything that you do really centered around your family.
I cannot be more obsessed, but I also needed to also take that time back for myself and go, you know, a healthy, happy mommy is a healthy, happy child. And so I realized there was something out there, and I don't want to say too much, but there was something out there that I needed to do, and I went and I did it. It was something that I wasn't used to doing, and I went and I did it. And afterwards, I felt good, and I loved the sisterhood, and it was fantastic. But there was something missing within what I had done, and that was that. And maybe it was becoming a mom and just becoming a little deeper with regards to my perspective on life and things like that. But I realized that I wanted to create a platform that didn't judge women on beauty, because I realized, who am I to say that you're beautiful and Sarah is not, for instance? So I wanted a platform that brought together women, but women who are so beautiful because they have such a big purpose in life, and they have a passion in their business and in their day-to-day living. That for me was the most beautiful thing about a woman. And I wanted to create this platform where I could find the most precious woman in South Africa. Okay, we're all precious, but you have to find the platform first for us to know who you are. But to create a platform that was just there for women to showcase their businesses, to network with one another, to believe in themselves, and of course win beautiful prizes along the way, and just create a vision for each and every one that came onto this platform of who they are and what they aspire to be, or what they are already.
I'm just listening to you talking about how you wanted to create a platform where you could showcase beautiful women, and just talking about, you know, their purposes and just generally what they're doing in their lives. And I think of when I was a participant, or somebody had entered the Icon SA, and how I'd met these kind of women, and I was just blown away by the caliber that had I mean, it was impressive, honestly. And so I truly agree and truly understand what you mean when you talk about how there are just these amazing women out there, these beautiful women out there with so much to share, and just really making a difference in other people's lives. So,
but I'm sorry, Ziki, and as you said that now, I've just realized, you know, when you meet a woman like you did on this journey, you know, you see somebody at face value, but when you start to peel back the pieces, or peel back the layers, you don't only get their business, but then you start to realize what they're actually doing on a day-to-day for their communities. And when you start to peel those layers, you find out who, like for instance, Ziki is. It's the most phenomenal experience, right? because everybody just has a story. Everybody comes from something. Everybody's going up to their place. But it's just a beautiful, what can I say? Experience.
Absolutely. I mean, I honestly, because I've gone through it and I've come out on the other end and completely 100% agree. And I hope that those women who have applied and have made it into the semifinals are waiting and just anticipating everything that's about to come to them, because it will definitely change their lives. It changed mine, changed my whole life.
Super excited to meet the 2022 semi-finalists. So we are busy posting, as you've seen.
I've seen, yes.
It's very exciting.
Of course. So in terms of now that you've started Icon SA and you are leading this and it's something that you are passionate about, do you ever find yourself needing the motivation to actually keep going? Or is this something that you've just got and it just keeps going?
So we're a very honest show. We don't like to put, fluffy bells and whistles when entrepreneurship is not always fluffy bells and whistles. And we advocates to women out there who are in business and entrepreneurs and starting businesses and things like that. So I can say wholeheartedly that my passion has gotten me through this project. Because I'm so passionate about what I'm doing and how it is helping women out there. So that keeps me going. I think every time an entrepreneur, and I think we need to all be very honest with one another. I think if you haven't given up or tried to give up along the way, at least 100 times, you're doing something wrong. So there will always come a time in entrepreneurship that in any business that you go, what is the point? And if you can look yourself honestly in the mirror and you can say to yourself, the point is, and you have a valid point as to why you need to carry on, then you need to carry on. And if you still have that passion and that fire within you, my advice is to carry on, because if it's gone though, there is a time where you have to just flog a dead horse. And, if we are in a situation where we feel that, or you're standing there going, sure, my passion feels like it's gone out the window. My fire isn't burning anymore for this particular business. I'm not talking about life. That's a different discussion, but with your business, then sometimes you got to wait, maybe you need to re-strategize. Maybe you need to collaborate. I don't know, but that's the kind of thing that gets me through, is collaborations, re-strategizing, rethinking strategies along the way. You have to do that. You have to. I heard something this morning. It's a cha-cha-cha dance, entrepreneurship. You're kind of like doing the cha-cha all the time.
Your feet are on fire, dancing up and down, trying to figure it out, never standing still.
Exactly. So, but it's amazing in the businesses that I have done, and the events was one of my successful stories. But in other companies that I've started, some have led the way, others I have stopped. But in that, I can say that when I've known when to stop is when things become very difficult around the business. So in other words, things aren't coming together, relationships aren't forming very. You're feeling destroyed, you're feeling something doesn't feel good within you. That is when, just from my humble experience and my humble opinion, is that is when I've known that it's too much. Because there should still be a point of fun. There should still should be a point of flow. Yes, the universe doesn't always align for us, but there should be some kind of flow happening that you can see, it's happening. There's something happening here. It's moving. Then by all means carry on. And so that's been one of the reasons I've carried on.
Amazing. You've just answered the next question that I had about letting things be and how you incorporate that as part of your vision as a businesswoman. And I love that. Just basically when it's not fun anymore and it's not coming together and it's time for you to kind of just re-strategize, look if this is something that you need to keep going at and maybe look at another avenue and do something else.
No, I'm not saying quit. But if you have done everything you can, and maybe it's still not, there's still no light. Like I'm talking about no light, like black, like no light, like the lights are dim. They're not even dim. If they dim, there's still lights.
Some hope, yes.
There's still some hope, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. And then also, and you've heard me say this a million times, and just, as a life coach, I love saying this because it is true. Have your vision, have your plan, have your business, and where you want to take it. But then again, just realize that we don't plan when it's going to happen. Okay, so you can say in a year's time I want this, in 6 months I want this, in 5 years I want this. I mean, I know that vision boards at the moment are huge and everybody's going for their visions and whatnot, and it's beautiful. Of course, I'm a consciousness coach, that's what I coach on. But don't get upset if it's not happening within your time span, because we that's one thing we don't have control on, is when it is going to happen. We can have control that it's going to happen, because 80% of the time of what we've put together in our vision happens. 20% may not, but that's okay. It wasn't meant to be. But for that 80%, you cannot put a time limit on that. Obviously you should say when you want it to happen, but if it doesn't happen within that time, don't worry about it. Okay, it's there, it's in the stars. And that's how I position myself with that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm sitting in one of your life coach sessions, because that is really truly a nugget, a true gem of how we should honestly be approaching life when it comes to what we want at the end of the day. And having that, as you said, that vision of wanting something at a certain time doesn't always work out that way. So
no, let go and let God, because only God can tell us when it's going to happen. But we can let it go into the universe, but let go and let God.
I love that. And for my last question,
yes. Are we on the last one already? Wow, that went quick. Okay, beautiful.
You basically were weaving into the different questions, and you were just answering them before I've even asked. So
yeah, I don't even know what questions. So I'm like, what? Okay.
So for women who feel that they don't have resources or knowledge to start a business, for example, or something that they'd like to, start in their own communities that would impact the communities on a positive note, what advice do you have for them?
Biggest advice is take a leap. Take a leap of faith. That's my first advice. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about and I'm not saying don't, and I hate to say this, but don't worry about if you don't have the experience or the degree. I'm not saying don't go and study. I think studying is beautiful, but I think that if you are in a position that you can't for some reason, don't let that hinder you. Don't let that stop you. Allow for your passion to drive you, and everything will come together. The money, everything will come together. Collaborations are huge. Collaborate. Look for partnerships. Partnerships are overlooked. And I'm not saying you have to partner with someone in your business, but partnerships is in collaborations. If somebody knows better than you, but you want to get involved in that, go and find out more from them and ask them to collaborate. There's no shame in that. It's beautiful. And you'll learn more and you'll experience more. And that's what life's about. He who experiences the most wins, right?
Yeah.
So go forward and just take that leap of faith and take that first step. If, for instance, you are an advocate and you want to start, supporting women who may need advice on getting out of abusive relationships, or you enjoy the fact that you are a woman who stands by that and you want to help somebody like that, go and look for shelters where you can do some free work. All I'm saying is take that step of what you want to do, and everything will start to come together. And when it's your true alignment in life, you'll start to see that all of a sudden you'll meet people along the way that are there to help expand your dream and your business, if it's your true alignment, and then all of a sudden you'll bump into somebody at the shops that you haven't seen for 10 years, and they'll turn around and go, oh my goodness, what are you doing now? I've got a passion, I want to get into this. Oh, that's fantastic, I know so and so. And so that's how it starts to happen.
Just thinking about what you said now in terms of you basically create your own network by having that passion and purpose, and also just taking that leap of faith, because if you wait, it'll never start, it'll never happen. And it's the kind of thing that discourages so many women out there, just waiting and hoping, or saying, no, I need to be ready to be able to do this, or I need to have this kind of skill to be able to do it. So
and it stops us, and it's called imposter syndrome. And the only person that can stop you from achieving what you want is your mind. Well, not the person, but the only thing that can stop you from achieving what you deserve in life is your mind. So, but anyway, that's another discussion. I don't want to get into my coaching. We'll be up forever.
I could talk to you forever about that. You keep saying that, and I just want to kind of go into that a little bit. But
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, but yeah, just take that first step, and that's all I can say, because yeah, everything will come together as it should.
Thank you so much, Rebekah. It's been a pleasure just listening to you talking about what you've done, what you're doing, and how you're just there empowering women, and you've built this platform that just shines a spotlight on all these amazing women.
Yeah. And sorry, on that note, I don't want any woman out there to feel stuck, you know, stuck in their position, stuck in the life that they have. You know, we are all beautiful beings, and we deal with a lot. And I just want to say to any woman out there who feels stuck in their business, maybe they're not where they should be, join the Icon South Africa community and network, and just don't feel stuck, you know. There is hope, and you can change your life anyway down the road. Anywhere where you down that road, you can change your life if it's not working for you. Just never feel stuck as a woman.
Thank you so much, Rebekah. And I hope to everyone who's listening, I hope you gain some extra bit of knowledge on who Rebekah is and why she's such an amazing woman doing amazing things. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time. Rebekah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.